Hi, my name is Diane, and I'd like to welcome you to Focus to Career. Thank you so much for choosing us. This tutorial will teach you how and where to customize the Focus to Career system. There's quite a few customizing options, so I'm first going to start out by showing you what can be customized, and then we'll log into the administrative interface and I'll show you where to do that. The page that you're looking at right now is the portal page, the doorway that your students are going to come through. We can add your logo to the system, and you can also customize a specific message that would be seen right here. When students create an account for themselves, they'll complete this self-registration form. You can collect more information, less information. These would be up to you on what you would like to collect on a student. Minimum requirements are access code, first name, last name, a username, a password, and associating themselves to groupings. Groupings are going to help you run reports and in the administrative interface and keep it organized. You come up with the question or the heading of the category and your drop-down list options. You may have up to 3 unique groupings. You can also ask an open-ended question. Once the students complete that form, they're going to be brought right into the system. So now let's log into the student side, and I'll show you some locations that you can customize for your students. First, again, your logo will be seen here. You may write your own instructions. These generic instructions will automatically appear, but you can edit your own instructions. You may also add links right at the top of the page right here that would prompt your students to maybe make an appointment with you or have some sort of special instructions that would include links to them. The Am I Career Ready module has several customizing options. First of all, you can add in next to each competency some additional descriptions about critical thinking or whichever ones they are seeing. When they get to their results, you can customize what the suggestions are related to each competency. So every competency comes with about 10 to 15 suggestions. You can edit these to make them your own or hide ours. Again, if you've added links to resources, those can be seen here as well. As you know, Focus to Career is customized with the majors that you offer at your college. They are already in your account. You do have the ability to edit them as you see fit. So I'm going to actually go into what can I do with a major in. So you'll have a list of majors. You can add links to your department pages related to each major. You can also add alternate titles. If you do not call accounting and finance, you can call it whatever you would like to call it. Just make sure that the CIP code is the same, and you can also add descriptions to your majors. Lastly, the last couple of locations are in Take Action. There's an academic and a professional development side. Basically, when they come into this section, they will see these prompts. You can add links related to each one of these topics. For example, if you'd like to add a link that goes over to your internships, you can do so. You may also, if there's something that you don't want on, you can hide it. So if there's a specific prompt that you don't really want to have your students complete, you can make it invisible. Finally, you can add additional links to websites of your choice. We have a job board that goes to about 100 or so different websites that students can look for jobs. And you can also add in links to any resources that you would like them to go to that is going to be helpful for them to check out. Okay, so those are the customizing locations. So let's now, there's one more, sorry, support. This would be your contact information that your students see so that they can reach out to you. So that is under support. Okay, so now let's log into the administrative interface. So you're going to log in with the credentials that were provided to you. Go right to the administrative website. And now you're going to see the menu options on the left over here. So with these options, I'm going to go right into the customizing sections. It's going to start with Manage User Groups. This is where you will put in the group titles and your drop-down list options. We've already pre-populated your first primary category for you, but feel free to edit as you wish. To add a new category, you simply type in a new group and it will be seen on your list. To organize it by the sort order, you're going to put in, so if you wanted this to be the second drop-down list option on your list here, you'll see it's numbered from 10, 20, 30, etc. So you could label this one 11 and the sort order will change. And now we've put that new group right under 10. Administrators. You may add as many administrators as you would like to. There's no limit. There's just two different options. Full access administrator will have the ability to use everything on the dashboard. Sub-administrators, it's a limited view. What sub-administrators see is dashboard, where our training webinars are, your users, where you'd look up one user at a time, aggregate reports, where you can run group reports, that's where those groups come into play, and also support materials to have access to our support materials. So you'd want to decide how your administrators, the type of access you'd like to give them. Full administrators, you just complete the form. Sub-administrators, once you have your groups already decided upon and you've added those, you're going to give your sub-administrators access. I like to give them access to see everything. It just makes it easier if a student joins the wrong group. So that is sub-administrators. Customization options. This is the look and the feel of everything that's in Focus 2. There's a lot right here. Website branding. You would send your logo over to David. Your contact information. This is the contact information for support that your students would see. Simply fill out this information. You do not have to complete all fields. Website instructions, if you'd like to write your own instructions. I showed you this on the top of the student dashboard. So if you would like to have your own instructions written, just make sure you hit the submit button. Links, whoops, missing one. Main menu options. This is what is on or off within the student dashboard. So if you do not want your students, for example, to utilize My Academic Strengths, perhaps you don't care for that module, you can uncheck it and hit the submit button. Keep in mind, everything is on, off for everybody. Main menu top links. This is where you would add in links to go to make an appointment with you or academic advisors or any other websites that you would like to have a link associated with it. And of course, you can sort the order as you can see. Action plan links. These have been completed already, so when you come in here, it's going to be a little bit of a different view, but you would add links that are related to each one of these categories. So maybe for internships, if one hadn't been added yet, you would just type in the link that goes over to your internship pages. Next is action plan customization. This is where you can check on or off which action plan items you would like to have seen or not seen. There's also two customizing ones, one for education and one for the professional development side. Scope of occupations. When your students come to their results in Focus 2, they see a list of occupations that support each one of the assessments that they have completed, or that align with each one of the assessments, I should say. If you are a 2-year school, you probably will have it on just as you see here, from vocational all the way up to advanced degree. If you are a 4-year institution, you probably will have it from associate degree and up. However, I do have many 4-year schools that do not want to display associate degree occupations at all, and they keep it at advanced degree and bachelor degree. So your choice, just make sure you always hit the submit button. Occupation list display. If you do not want salaries seen by your students, you can uncheck that. This is how different icons and things that are seen on the student side, those are where these are seen, so you can have them on or off. When students log out of Focus 2, they can be brought to any page on your website. We typically have that filled in for you. These are going to be your portal page doorways. Leave those on, just don't touch those, or suspend registration. That's something that we control for you. If you would like to collect other information besides what is mandatory on the self-registration form, you can check off what you'd like to have your students add and enter in, and make it required or not. Of course, if you're using single sign-on or an API to activate students, none of this comes into play because it's all done behind the scenes. You can require their students to use their school assigned email address. You can have a confirmation of every brand new student that's self-registered, and an email address can be added in there. And if you want your students to use a specific label for their username, maybe use your student school ID or email address, you can prompt them to do that. Again, make sure you always hit the submit button. Case notes, when you're running reports on students in this admin site here, you can add notes and you can categorize them by subject. We usually just have one on for you that says notes, but if you'd like to add more, you can just add those subjects in. Am I career ready? This is for the NACE competencies module. These are the list of suggestions, so you can edit ours and write your own and also add to ours. To hide ours, just click on it and uncheck the suggestion. If you'd also like to add more to it, just continue on with the sentence and hit update. And if you'd like to write your own, those are all done right there. You can also add in links and additional titles and descriptions. It's all very simple to just type it in and hit the submit button. If you would like to add a site footer, which is something that's seen at the very bottom of the dashboard and on the pages, maybe some legal information, or usually schools don't utilize this, but that's if you needed to, you could use that. Next up is update majors and degrees. So as you know, the system is going to arrive customized with the majors that you offer at your institution. You can check to see what we have mapped to your college in update majors and degrees, your current majors. This will have the titles, the CIP code, and the degrees associated with it. If you need to make corrections, this is what I suggest you do. Create a CSV and obtain an alphabetical listing of your majors with CIP codes and your degrees associated with it from your registrar's office. Compare the two lists. If you have changes in your account, it's going to say need changes, start here. This one is already open just because of my sample account. If we need to delete something, put a check mark next to it and write not offered, hit save and proceed. This is a 5-step process. If we need to add majors, put a check mark what needs to be added, scroll to the very bottom of the page. So you see I have add zoology, hit save and proceed. Modify degrees, if we need to edit anything in your degrees, check it, put an add or remove. They go from lowest 2 highest credentials. So the ones at the top here, for example, be careful with certificate. That's for a certificate from a technical school. Once you've completed those, hit save and proceed. If you have added new degrees, then you check off what all of them are related to each major. And if you've added a new major, this list will be blank. So you're going to check off all of the degrees associated with each one of the majors you've added. The ones that you've said to remove are not in this list. Hit save and proceed. Step 5 will be checking to make sure that everything looks accurate. And if it does, hit the submit button and we will make those changes for you. If you need to go back to anything, it will not delete what you've made for changes, so you can feel free. You just have to go through the steps again, so submitting each page. If you need help with this, please reach out to us. You can customize your majors as well, adding alternate titles. If you do not call aerospace, aeronautical, and astronautical engineering what the Department of Education calls it, you can type in here exactly what you call it. Be sure the CIP code is identical. Once you add those subtitles, hit the submit button. You can add additional descriptions about your majors. Just type it in. You may add links to your department page on your website. I just have a couple added here. You'd copy and paste them in. And again, as I keep saying, don't forget to hit the submit button. You may add subcategories. Perhaps you have majors that have pathways, or you'd like to add in additional information related to any of your majors. It's a location where you can add an additional category related to, for example, acoustics, links if you'd like to, and identify more degrees associated with it. You can also add your minors. They typically do not come customized in your Focus 2 account, so go through this alphabetical listing and check off all of your minors. Additional tools and resources are going to be, if you would like to add links, this was on the very bottom of the student dashboard where you would put perhaps links to your job boards or anything else that you'd like to send your students to, outside resources, and our job board link. It's an on-off switch. Finally, in support materials, if you need any support, any questions, you're going to find your answers in here, along with many different folders that are going to help you. We have how to advertise Focus 2. There's videos in here. There's one-pagers. So please explore this section. It's going to have a wealth of information to assist you, including instructions for more customization, how to edit your majors if you just want to see one video at a time. So be sure to explore everything that we have in the support materials. As always, we encourage you to reach out with whatever sort of support you need from us. And once again, thank you for choosing Focus 2.